Shalom,
Shalom,
shalom, shalom,
shalom.
shalom.
Peace is you, shalom, shalom. Before we get started, we want to give all honors, praises, and infinite glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua,
Bashai,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Rakah,
Ka,
Kodash.
Kodash.
Peace and blessings to you, hopeful elect. Shalom to Akim and Akwef that's tuning in right now. Double honors to apostles and elders of GMS who rule well and teach well, man. Shalom to everybody that's tuning in. This is your brother Elijah from Warriors for Yahushua, New Jersey. Here with the brother Nahar out in Idaho. We come
Shalom.
kind. And today, it's just flowing through the spirit. We're gonna news, prophecies, basically any topics we could touch on. We definitely gonna bring the scriptures out, and we're gonna roll through the spirit, man.
Khan. And the first scripture that we're going to bring out for today's lesson comes out of 1 Peter 4, verse 7. This is it. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. So, we're supposed to be sober, being single-minded, not being all over the place with different doctrines and polluting, ourselves by repeating them. Because like scriptures say, it's not what goes into the man that corrupts him, but what comes out. So yeah, we hear bullshit all day, but are you reiterating it? Are you repeating what you hear and adding it to the doctrine? That's when you start to go off. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to try to get as many news articles that we can, kind of, because a lot's going on. There's endless topics to talk about, but, through the spirit, brother and I are just going to be rolling, and hopefully that this lesson is edifying to the elect. So, if you had a scripture you wanted to bring out, Ak, or you want me to get into these articles?
I could bring this out. And this is 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion. Hey, and who's the devil, man? You so-called white people, man. Esau, Edom. Idumea. As a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So, hey, man, not only just being sober, vigilant, watching the times, but hey, at all aspects, man, you gotta be sober-minded. You gotta prepare your mental to see things that you thought was a fairy tale, man.
Yeah.
Whether it be strange apparitions, to chariots are going to end up being real close. I'm talking about maybe even above your house, man. Start preparing your mind for that. Bodies dropping left and right. All hell breaking loose. Leviathan. Hey, we getting hit from all angles, man. Hey, you don't want to be out there and you stuck in shock. You froze up, about to have a heart attack because you ain't know or you ain't believe that this thing was real, man. But this thing is very much real. Each and every day, prophecy, scripture is speaking, man.
Yep.
Hey, we don't care if you 2/3 don't get it by now, man. Hey, because when I first came into this thing, I try to get him, hey, come do this and that. Hey, you can't save everybody, man. We only here for the elect,
And through the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, following the lead of our elders and apostles, starting with the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, we are ahead of the game. And by ahead of the game, meaning we understand some of the things that are going to be taking place, like the brother was talking about, these strange apparitions that's going to make some people just give up the ghost on sight. They actually see these chariots manifest themselves. These people are going to go buck wild, go crazy, have a massive heart attack because they think in those alien spaceships, so-called, that there's some green alien men that are going to do experiments on them, not knowing the truth that is spoken of about the chariots of fire in the scriptures. So not to mention the strange apparitions, because let's say you get away and you get to your hideaway bunker, you got all your weapons, your ammo, your food storage, you lock the door, that vault is closed, there's one way in and one way out, and a fucking demon manifests himself right in the center of your little bunker and starts laughing at you, starts knocking shit off the shelf, man. That's when people are going to lose it. They're going to be running out of that bunker just to get met by a pack of rabid dogs. There's some crazy judgments that are going to happen. So a lot of these people that aren't preparing themselves beforehand. And first and foremost, before you prepare yourself physically, you have to prepare yourself spiritually. Because if you don't have your foundation built on the rock, which is Yahweh Shai, and serving him to the very best of your ability, hey, your house is going to tumble, stop, drop, and roll in that fire, but it ain't going to help. So I got one real quick. This is Proverbs 13:13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So that's a how do you say, a glimpse of good news that us as the hopeful elect, humbly speaking, have to look forward to in those dark days known as Jacob's trouble. So, and what we're going to be speaking on is just the birth pains that are going to be happening before Jacob's trouble busts wide open. So I'm going to get into these articles, but feel free to stop me anytime if you got scripture that pops up in your head, or if you want to say anything on these.
We get into the articles.
So the first ones that I wanted to talk about is kind of, the China, Russia, Taiwan, and the U.S. Getting it on and popping, because you're starting to see more things march towards World War III. But before World War III, and we always have to put this on repeat, before World War III goes on full-scale nuclear war, which that will be the climax of it, the MOTB, the charagma has to come out, and the hour of temptation has to be put on these people, and whether that comes, it's going to come, very soon. The next cataclysmic event, the next false flag, the next C-19 type thing that's going to happen around the world could be the thing that just pushes the economy off the edge, that ushers in the charagma MOT to the B system. So one of those birth pains is this came out yesterday. This is in the final stretch, and Salakia that we can't pull these up on the live stream. The brother and I were kind of discussing it. Even if we do show you the videos online right here, it's gonna flag the video for copyright. So we're doing the best we can, and we're just reading the articles off Instagram. And this is from the brother Jeremiah, servant of Yahweh Shai. This is in the final stretch. The Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs informed 4 NATO countries of imminent nuclear explosion in Ukraine. France confirms. Because what's going on right now, they're talking about a false flag dirty bomb on both sides. And what they're actually, another target that they're actually trying to take down is the main hydroelectric power dam called the Kaihovskaya Dam in Ukraine. And there's already been attacks on both sides on the dam, even though Russia controls it right now, to try to blame the other side for sabotaging it. And when that dam breaks, not only will it flood the land miles down the dam, but also the nuclear reactors are being cooled by the dam's water reservoir. The dam holds all that water in like a lake. Well, they use that water to cool the nuclear reactors. So what that would also cause would be like another Chernobyl type event. So they would actually have a meltdown. Not adding that nuclear reactor is already getting bombed too. So hey, it can happen at any time. But I got one more. This is Salakia, bear with me, Israel. This is from the same brother, and this is the Serbian president. Storm breaks out. The 101st Division enters Ukraine. American officer. If Russians enter Lviv, it's over. So the 101st Airborne has already been training in Romania for the last couple months, because they had a saying in the military that are deployed over there. It's called "Fight Tonight," ready to fight tonight. So at any day, they're ready to get it on and popping.
God, man, ultimately they want to provoke Babylon the Great, man. Hey, because all it takes, like I keep saying this in other sit downs, man, all it takes is for one of these countries to send one missile over here, and they all will press buttons, man.
Yep.
But that charagma has to be set up. Jacob's trouble has to happen. But best believe, in the midst of all hell breaking loose, and Esau Edom out there setting up that system, and the UN troops out there. Best believe Putin and China looking at it like, oh well, they ain't worried about us anymore. Let's start pressing buttons, man. You
Yep.
know?
And this is another article. I'm going to read it. It says Pentagon, and this was released on October 21st. Pentagon, just FYI, we have a nuclear-armed submarine in the Arabian Sea. U.S. Central Command just dropped the location of a powerful nuclear weapon in a tweet. And this is the actual tweet and the picture of the submarine. And you can go and, like I tell people all the time, hey, don't take my word for it. Hey, don't believe me. Go look it up yourself. Because all the things that we're bringing up and lining it up with scriptures, is the main thing that makes us enemy number one, public enemy number one. Because the rest of these so-called woke conscious communities, they're not tying things in with the book of prophecy. They're just speaking based off of what they think might happen, not what we know is going to happen. Through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And not only, we're not going to know every single detail, but we understand the main prophecies like the Charagma, Jacob's trouble, and some of the other, little minor prophecies that are going to be happening in between. And when I say minor, that's like not the best word to say for it, because I wouldn't say Leviathan popping out the ocean is a minor prophecy. I wouldn't say people walking around like dead man, consuming people's flesh, the itchy tasties is a small prophecy. The famines in the streets, because a lot of people don't realize famine is synonymous with war. And whenever you have a global scale war going on, it's going to disrupt supply chains, especially if China moves in on Taiwan. That cuts 90% of the computer manufacturing chips worldwide, because China and Taiwan account for, more than 3/4 of the total production. So, hey, there's a lot going on. And
Kind of actually have a script too, Ken.
bring it out, Doc. You got it.
This is second address 16, and I'm gonna start at 35. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. All these plagues, famine, rumors of wars, pestilences, man. Hey, they're not slack. They're here, man. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son. So just like when a woman water breaks, when she started really feeling those birth pains, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So it's just like when a woman is pregnant, man. Hey, she start having contractions and she start having all these pains, man, because once that baby start being pushed out, there is no stopping it. There is no returning back, man.
Yep.
Even so shall the plagues be slack not. Slakia. Even so, not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. So they're not going to slack. And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So this whole world is going to feel those birth pains, man. Babylon is just going to get hit worse, because this is worse than Sodom and Gomorrah, man. This is the prideful Babylon, the city without walls, man. Hey, and I was watching a camp earlier, GMS Salt, shout out to them brothers, and they were saying, man, for us to have no walls up around here, we're so prideful that we don't believe we can be touched, man. That's like you having a house, you leaving all your doors open, thinking nobody's gonna come in there and rob you, man. That's exactly how Babylonians think, man. You got it, Kane.
Khan, I got one going into that unwalled cities, because hey, man, I've been to the Oregon coast, down the California coast, in Washington, up to Port Angeles, where you can see across the river from Canada. There's not a single U.S. military fortification along that whole area. You know, you may have like a couple boats of the Coast Guard here and there, and maybe a major base in Camp Pendleton in California. But we don't have missile defense systems. We don't have any of that stuff that leaves our borders open. You know, even on a land level, you can look at the southern border. But this is going into what the brother was speaking on as a future prophecy, because hey man, when these foreign soldiers come and when these soldiers are going through the houses, hey, they ain't going to be speaking English. You know, they're going to know one thing: to kill and destroy. You know, and to you women, you know, they may not be able to speak a lick of English, but they're going to point that gun at you, and they're going to be, you know, telling you to undress. They're going to be poking your titty with the fucking gun, you know, and then you're going to actually know what they want. And that's what the pride of these women getting ravaged to death. But I'm going to bring out the scripture. Hey, and if that's hard to hear, hey, well, I'm sorry, that's reality. You know, we're not here trying to bring you a Teletubbies PG rated form of truth. Hey, we're going to give it to you straight, no chaser. This is Jeremiah 51:13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. From the top, thou that dwellest upon many waters, because if you look at the United States, it's pretty much covered three sides by water. You have the Gulf of Mexico, the Pacific, and the Atlantic Ocean. Abundant in treasures. We understand that the United States is, you know, one of the number one GDP countries in the world. We're a consuming nation. We're not a producing nation. So that's the abundant in treasures. But we also do have a lot of natural resources here. So, you know, we could be a producing nation, but we're not. Yeah, obviously we like to export everything to the work done in, you know, sweatshops and shit like that. This is thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. You know, because like it says in scriptures, you know, their sins have reached up to heaven. And shalom to the brother Malkia. Yahbashim Yahshai Brakatah. Out there.
Shalom, my brothers in H-Town. Makia Nuyim, Shalom. Wolves V Hawashah.
That's right. This is verse 14 out of Jeremiah 51. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. You know, and if you've ever seen a plant infested with caterpillars, you can barely see the leaves. You know, they're covering the whole plant top to bottom like a swarm. You know, because that is a analogy of how many troops are going to be on the ground, and how much chaos is going to be ensuing here in Babylon the Great. You know, saving the best for last. Continuing, I'm gonna start from the top. This is Jeremiah 51:14. The Lord of hosts, meaning the Lord of armies, hath sworn by himself, meaning if you're God, you can't swear anything above yourself if you're on the top. So that's saying it definitely will come. Surely I will fill thee with men. So it's not talking about literal caterpillars, as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. And that shout is going to be, you know, a sound of war. And ultimately, the final climax of that shout is going to be those nuclear missiles. So you got it, huh?
Yeah, man. You know, hey, this place got to be burnt up, man. Hey, yep. Wickedness at all-time high, man. The pride, all-time high, man. You know? Hey, and it's just going to keep getting higher and higher. Hey, and that's the most harmful. He want this place, pride, to be at its peak so that he could bring this man down, man. You know? These people sitting up here like, yeah, nobody. That's the script, too. Let me see if I can grab it. Salak, yeah.
Get up. And I got the next article whenever you're ready, but get your scripture first.
Salakia. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's how these that's how Esau Edom, the red man, the true red man is sitting, man. Hey, right now they believe they can't be touched. Hey, we're gonna do so much damage in these other countries, but hey, my property ain't gonna get touched. Hey, I could walk over your lawn, but hey, don't come near mine. The big bad bully, man.
Man, you talk to any of these Americans, man. You have a normal conversation with somebody on the side of the road. Oh, America can't be touched. We got our military. Oh, we got the best army in the world. No, you don't. I don't know if you've looked up the statistics of how many nukes, how many aircraft carriers, how many soldiers, how many actual willing recruits are even signing up to these different countries' recruitment centers, because it's not like here in the United States. What do you got here in the United States? You got a bunch of fucking, I don't know which fucking bathroom to use as effeminate men, a bunch of GMO crack babies that aren't ready to go to World War III. But hey, whether you're ready or not, that draft is coming. So a lot of people that think that they're not going to be a part of it, hey, they're going to force you to be a part of it, whether you like it or not. And if you haven't been serving the Lord, hey, man, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. So, yeah, but I got that article locked because, like I was saying, these people giving up on hope. Check this. This is studies show approximately 30% of U.S. adults have given up on religion, and those numbers are increasing. This is a little excerpt under it. It says issues such as political polarization and closely held philosophical belief systems appear to be a large part of responsible for the shift, because the pastors aren't feeding the flock accordingly. They're not giving you any information according to prophecy on what's going to come. They're giving you recycled tradition over the truth of mostly Christian bullshit, because hey, Christianity insanity is just that, insanity. So a lot of these people are leaving the churches because it's not satisfying them spiritually. But a lot of it is because this truth is going out, starting with the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Everyone has a computer in their pocket, and they're in one way, shape, or form. They know somebody that's in the truth. Their cousin across the state is in the truth. They went to the family reunion acting crazy, so-called, trying to wake up their family, saying that they're the true Israelites. And a lot of people are starting to do some information, do some Salakia, do some research, and finding out information that a lot of the church institutions are a bunch of bullshit. And this is a scripture I have for that. This is Ecclesiasticus 2:14. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Man, so hey, these people are gonna have no defense when the trials and tribulations come, when the stomach's touching their back. When you're hearing your neighbor's door get kicked down, your next door neighbor's door get kicked down, and yours is next. Man, these people are really going to be praying to any and everything that they have on their mind. They're going to be like, God, Jesus, Allah. They're going to be numbering top to bottom, trying to get a hint of what's the word, ease to their spirit. What were those Israelites saying? They're going to have one of those moments. They're going to go through all the different why names, and still be asked out, because this is continuing. They didn't build that foundation. Like I said, this is Ecclesiasticus 2:15. They that fear the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, will not disobey his word. And they that love him will keep his ways, to the best of our ability, because we are in this polluted society. So you have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the very best of your ability, but that's not something that's going to get you on a chariot. Having faith in Yahweh Shai at the end of the day is what is going to, get you through, no matter what's going on in the world. Slakia, I know I'm talking a lot.
You
got it.
You good, King. To add on what you were saying about, people's going to be calling on different gods. This is Judges 10:14. No, I'm gonna actually start at 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, and that's what 2/3 is best known for, man. 2/3, what they want, they want to worship the stars. Oh, the universe told me to do. Hey, come,
yeah.
I'm in being in Kemet, man.
God.
Wherefore I will deliver you no more. And 14, this is the point. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. So when all
Right.
hell breaking loose and you starting to see men of the Lord getting beamed up through those chariots, so-called UFOs, you know, hey, don't try and look for Yahweh there, man, or Yahweh Shah, you know. Hey, go cry unto Amen Ding, man. Amen Ra. You know, go pray
God,
to your ancestors and your plants and the universe, man. See if the universe can stop time. You know?
God. Hey, and we can be clowning those people just like Elijah was clowning the 800 plus prophets of Baal, you know, because I got that scripture that kind of goes along with that, you know, because as he was clowning them, this is what he said. This is the words of Elijah, 1 Kings 18:24, and call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord Yahweh, and the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. Because just a quick background, you had two sacrifices set up. Elijah had one dressed and set up, and all from the morning until noon and going into the evening, the prophets of Baal, which were 800 plus, I believe it was like 850, were calling upon the name of their God, and nothing happened. And Elijah was mocking them, saying, hey, maybe he's sleeping, maybe he's on a journey, you know, call louder, you know, as he's talking shit. And so then the first name that he called on when he called upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, fire rained down from heaven in that moment, you know, and that was the answer and the proof to the people of Israel who Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is really working for. It doesn't have anything to do with numbers, but only with the true doctrine and if you're chosen of the elect. Because hey, after that went down, the Israelites grabbed those false prophets of Baal, took them by the river, and they slaughtered them. You know, so hey, you know that's just another faith booster. You know, to know that the God that we call upon, you know, is a true and living God, not a dumb idol that can't speak.
Hey, seeing 144 and 444, hey, that's big faith boosters right there, letting you know this thing is real, man. You know, hey, when you putting them, when you marking people, when you might throw a curve, you might shalak like on somebody and something really happened. You know, hey, faith boosters, man. You know, hey, us being in this thing, man, to let you know this thing is real, man. Hey, we everything around us, we now see this world through a spiritual lens, man. It's no more that zombie. We our head filled with that dopamine. We on Instagram. We doing this and that. We pleasing our flesh. No, man. Everything is spiritual now, man. You know, to be walking in this truth, man. It takes the spirit. It takes a spirit being put on you, man. Because you can't just wake up and say, "Oh man, I'm gonna do this. Let's see how far I go." No, man. What scripture say? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. You know, you can't just wake up in this thing. God, since the beginning.
Which proves reincarnation. What also proves there's no such thing as free will. You know, you can't will yourself. You can't work yourself into this and become a chosen. You have to be elected. You know, and elected means you're chosen by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, so
hey, that's why everything we do, we say Lord willing, man. Because
Lord
willing. we don't know if we gonna like today, man. Hey, we said Lord willing, we get together and do this sit down, man. Because anything, listen, we in a time where anything can happen. In the middle of this live, blackout right here and there, man. You know, hey, and warp speed. What did they say? Warp speed. We could wake up tomorrow and boom, Karagma, boom, blackout, boom, EMP, missile, anything, man. You know, so you gotta continue to work, and you gotta work fast, especially if you're new in this thing, man. You gotta work fast. You know, hey, there's a lot of work out there. There's plenty of work for everybody, man. You know, you got it.
And you don't really have an excuse coming into this thing too, because hey, we're that generation that's so in tune with our phones. You know, we know how to look up things on YouTube. You know, you have access to all this information, and I say this all the time. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. You know, because the only people that don't really want to hear about this truth, you know, you always got those weak-minded people. I don't want to talk about that. You know, my anxiety levels are gonna get high, and I'm gonna be stressed, and I'm not gonna be able to enjoy my life because I'm gonna be thinking about the end. Hey man, well fuck you, pussy man. You know, you go ahead and you ride that car, you trick it out, you fucking do all you want to do in this world, And when the shit hits the fan, you go and put your faith in that same energy that you put into your car, in tricking out your car, being a JDM life, you know? Hey, because none of that is gonna matter when there's no electricity, like the Ox said, when there's no running water, you know? What are you gonna do when you can't go to the grocery store and actually use your money that you worked for? What are you gonna do when you go take a shit in the toilet and there's no water coming out? You're gonna have to go dig a hole, you know? And people are gonna bug out because hey, the Jakes in third world countries, they can deal with a little bit of those uncomfortable modern pleasures that we have here in America that we think is just second nature. Well, it's not, because hey, when shit hits the fan here, people aren't used to living like that. So they're gonna bug out, they're gonna lose it, they're gonna run to those FEMA camps, they're gonna want to go get, you know, the Karagma just to get some food on their plate, man. And that's why it's gonna take a heavy spirit to, you know, to stay away from that. Because when you got your woman saying, oh, I'm leaving you, I'm gonna go get some food and get Karagma'd up, you got your family trying to sell you out and give them your address so that the FEMA troops can go and snatch you up, you know. There's certain things like that are going to be playing across the field 100 times over in the United States, you know. So, you know, like it says in Ezekiel, Salakia, 2nd Esdras 16 and 40, I believe, you know, we're going to have to be on the move. Oh, I'm going to grab that real quick, Ak, and then you
can take it. Scripture, Salakia, scripture also say, in those days, be as pilgrims on the earth, roughly paraphrasing.
That's what I'm gonna get right here. I got it. No, you're good. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 40. Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Because in those evils, if you read early on in 2nd Esdras 15 and 16, you know, it's going into, you know, describing Jacob's trouble. So, hey, in those evils, and evils being hard times, bad times, you know, you're going to be, you know, always on the move. You're never going to have a safe place. You know, Israel's back in the wilderness again, you know, wandering, never having a sense of security. But that is when you're going to have to put all your faith, your everything in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, not in what your own hands can deliver you from, because what we're going to be facing in Jacob's trouble is not anything that we can take on by ourselves. We're going to need those angels. We're going to need the prayers from the Akim. And we're going to need, at the end of the day, you know, the grace and mercy and the Thawa, you know, which is Thawa in Ezekiel 9, 4 through 6.
As a protection, that mark.
Mark of exemption from judgment, you know. And without that, hey, your ass is grass. So I'm going to... Salakia King, these brothers are putting up some heat on the comment board, unless you had some.
Yeah, I was just holding this, backing up what you were saying about, you know, basically 2/3 and the heathens not wanting to hear this word. But this is Isaiah 30, and I'm gonna start at 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. You know, hey, they want to hear that Christianity insanity, man. They don't want to hear the true, the deep graphic, you know, scripts, man, coming from the way we say it through Yahweh side, you know, because we not more than vessels, you know. Yeah. But the way, hey, and scriptures say, man, what scriptures say, private interpretations, you know, roughly paraphrasing, you know, you can't take these things and twist it to make it sound good. No, read it how it's read, translate it how it's supposed to be translated, man. You know. Yeah. And that's why our people is messed up, because Christianity, all it did was take scripts and made it sound like, oh, to fill you up, man. You know?
God. Hey, and we're not supposed to, you know, talk to Jake smooth. You know, we're not supposed to tell him, hey, nice, come on, brother. Obviously, you know, there's a time and place for everything. But, you know, when we're bringing it out and when you see a sword coming, when there's death on its way, are you going to say, hey, get out the street? Hey, get out the road. Semi coming. Nah, you screaming, I go. You know, you're gonna be throwing some all types of so-called cuss words, so-called rude speech in there. But this is a scripture to back that up. This is Titus 1:13. This witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply, that they may be sound in the faith. Verse 14, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Hey, and the key is in 13, rebuke them sharply. You know, you're not going to sugarcoat the truth. You can't sugarcoat Jacob's trouble in describing what's going to happen in those times. It's impossible, especially with the articles that we're reading right now. How do you think things are going to get better? Hey, we're not out here telling you things are going to get better. Things are only going to get worse and worse and worse and more expensive and harder and colder. Hey, man, we're about to enter winter. You know, this could be it. You know, there's another article that I did want to throw up talking about here it is. This is diesel shortage leaves U.S. with just 25-day supply as demand surges. Report. With demand for diesel fuel at its highest point in over a decade, the Biden administration says nationwide supply is unacceptably low. And this was published yesterday. And I'll read through the article just real quick. This is diesel stockpiles in the U.S. are reportedly at their lowest point since 2008, with only enough fuel for 25-day supply, according to recent report from Bloomberg. Demand is also said to be at its highest point since 2007, creating a dangerous supply/demand combination that's causing spikes in pricing. The Biden administration called the nationwide diesel supply unacceptably low and is looking at all options to build up the national supply to help reduce prices. And a part of that is going into the OPEC and the Saudis, you know, limiting the amount of oil that they're able to give the United States, because what did they do? They added a whole nother partner, which was Russia. And when they understand that Russia and the United States and NATO are doing a whole proxy war right now, and these nations are choosing sides. They understand that the U.S. dollar is on its way out. They understand that China, Russia are going to be so-called the next superpowers, but they're not considering prophecy. They're not looking at the scriptures. They're thinking things at a carnal level, saying, oh, yeah, this guy's going to be the next one on top. The United States is on its way out. So all these nations are trying to wiggle themselves into a power position. But, hey, it's going to be all to naught.
God. Actually, I was holding the script, backing up what you were saying, you know, about speaking sharply, you know, and this is 2 Corinthians 11:6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been duly made manifest among you all in all things. Salakia. You know, so hey, just because you're hearing curse words and we speaking loud and this and that, hey, we're not rude in knowledge, man. Hey, we ultimately we don't want to see Jake perish, but we know it has to happen, man. We know 2/3 gotta go because y'all just not gonna get it, man. You know, ultimately, like I can't wait to see, you know, all of Israel, you know, back on top, kids in the street, no more people. Oh, you got 30 cents, you got this and that. No, man, but hey, we know it has to happen, man. Hey, scripture also say, actually, let me see if I could. Salakia.
Nah, you good, King. You made me think of that scripture, the 2nd Esdras 9:12. The same must know it after death by pain. You know, so sometimes, hey, when a dog is sick, the only thing to do is to put it down. You know, hit the reset button on these jakes, man. Sadly, but that's the way prophecy's written. It's not of our own words.
Exactly. This is Luke 2:49, and he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? West ye not that I must be about my Father's business. Hey, and this is a business that just business, man. You know, what did they tell you when they fire you? Just business, man. Not personal, it's just business. You know, so when you 2/3 pass on this side, it's not personal, it's just business, man. You know,
like all these layoffs that are gonna come. Hey, it's just business, right? You gotta save money. You know, that's what they're gonna be saying, man.
Facing this and that.
And ultimately, man, this place is going to be done, but Americans don't see that. And I saw a scripture pop up on the comment board. I grab this
Yeah,
one out
they
all the
posting
time.
some heat. They posting
The
some heat
water,
in this.
the water, Akim. This is from the brother Tazayara Math. Shalom Malakim to us. This is Psalms
Shalom.
49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses will last forever.
Woo! Hey,
And
that's
their
a fire
no, you got it,
script,
you got it.
gang. Hey,
God,
that's fire, man. Hey, because that's the pride of these. That's how every Babylonian is thinking right now, man. That this
yup.
place, I got people literally talking to me about 2024, 2025, man. Who knows if we even gonna be here next year, man? Let alone
Man,
tomorrow. Winter is
tomorrow.
coming, man. You know, hey, Florida, it's they say it's cool in Florida, man. They're
Man,
experiencing colder weather. You know, Florida is usually around 80s, 90s, maybe a little higher. But now they starting to feel a little 60, 70, you know. Hey, winter is starting early, man.
hey man, and they're already doing experiments on that harp. If you go on Dabu 777 page, they just did another experiment yesterday. Man, we're gonna start seeing those pictures like we saw 2 years ago with the big freeze. And I'm gonna finish the scripture where you had alligators' heads over the water and the whole water is frozen. But hey, man, this place is not continuing. I'm gonna finish this up. This is Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses will last forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, and that's this conquistador colonization spirit that mainly Esau Edom has, but ultimately applies to all these heathens because all these heathens think they got next in some way, shape, or form. You know, but they
Hey,
they they're out
you
of here.
guys are going. Oh, Salakia, King.
You got it.
Hey,
I got it. You good?
you guys going into slavery, man.
That's
You
right.
know, there's no running around, dancing around this topic. No, man, get ready for slavery, man. I'm sick of these people, man. You know, oh, every time I'm at work, oh man, I gotta see how red that roast beef is, man. You know,
Man,
Esau eat them. Oh yeah, I don't like how that's cut. You know, oh you doing this wrong. Oh, you don't know how to do your job, man. You know, hey, we gonna pay y'all double, man. Hey, I swear, y'all only gonna get a cup of water a day.
oh yeah, I got one for that.
If that, man. You know? Hey, Shalom once again to all the brothers on the comment board. You know? See my
Uh,
warriors, see our Shah brothers and you other Akim that's watching, that's tuning in right now, man. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
And these sisters too. Shalom.
And this is going into adding what the brother was saying, and then we'll get ready to close it down. Didn't want to make it too long, but hey, bring this info out because hey, there's a lot going on.
Hey, Khan.
And this is how we're gonna rule those heathens and thinking that it's gonna be some equality type in the kingdom. There's no such thing as equality even nowadays. You can look up Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We're above all the people upon the face of the earth. Hey, and that's gonna transpire into the kingdom of heaven to come. That's gonna be established here on earth. This is Revelations 2 and 27. And he shall rule them. Salaki, I may back up one. Here it is. I'm gonna start back. Revelations 2 and 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Verse 27. Man, hey, that's rulership. Hey, that's a crown. That's a second Esdras chapter 2 moment right there. That crowning ceremony, Abba Ratazah, humbly saying,
Man.
man, this is Revelations 2 and 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken into shivers, even as I received of my father. Hey, and how did Yahushua receive his father? Go passing into the other side, man. He got whipped. They were taking locks out his head. They were beating him, and when he was dead, they still stabbed him in the ribs. All types of atrocities that he was taking before he was even put on that cross. But hey, man, whatever they do to us, they're gonna receive double, 100-fold. Especially in the kingdom of heaven. When they're under the rule of the elect and Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, King David, the apostles, and all the elect members in their rightful order. So, it's a lot to look forward to, Akim. And Thawada again. I know we didn't get to all the scriptures on the comment board, but Munatazak, if you got anything else or closer.
God, I just wanted to grab Deuteronomy 14 and 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, thy power. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth.
That's right, man. Above, simple English, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. So, hey, man, can't get any more simpler than that. But I know we maybe didn't get to all the articles that we wanted to, but, there's always another day. Abarataza, and Lord willing that this lesson be edifying to the elect, to the Akim Wa'akwah, and to the Akim that are curious. I did leave the brother's page in the description. The link is right there if you want to go follow it. Subscribe to the Ox page, but Lord willing, this lesson be edifying to the elect. And with that, we're going to end the lesson by the same way we started it, by giving all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Wakah, Kadash.
And double honors to our beloved elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and peace and salutation to all you hopeful elect Akim that are continuing to labor and push this word in truth and in sincerity. And with that being said, we like to say DTA and Abad
Babal soon. Abad Babal DTA. Hey, keep leveling up, Kings. We almost out of here and do it to the end, man. Like our apostle, I like to say, on to the next lesson, man. Hey, you're only as good as your last lesson. Stay in the spirit, Kings, because listen, every time you wake up, we're one day closer, man. Yep. Shalom, Kings.
Shalom. The water for the scripts, Akim, on the comment board.
Water.